Now, the United Nations calls Israel's decision deeply alarming, and we're learning the UN Security Council will meet on Saturday. China expressed serious concern and urged Israel to immediately cease its dangerous actions. Now, China's foreign ministry also said Gaza belongs to the Palestinian people and is an inseparable part of Palestinian territory. The correct way to ease the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and to secure the release of hostages is an immediate ceasefire. Let's bring in Professor and Middle East Specialist Yossi Mekelberg. He joins us from London. Yossi, welcome to the program. So much domestic and international criticism for Israel's plan for Gaza City. At this point, is there anything or anyone that can stop Benjamin Netanyahu from going ahead with it?
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I think, yes, there is a way to stop what we see as, the next step of Israel actually aggravating an already disastrous situation, and it goes to Washington. And if President Trump insists and picks up the phone to Benjamin Netanyahu and tells that this something is not unacceptable to the United States, I assume this would stop. But I think also other countries that have leverage vis-à-vis Israel in terms of trade, military cooperation, intelligence sharing, and the others can at least make their case very, very strongly against what might, in the killing of many, many more thousands of people, continue the humanitarian disaster there. And also on the Israeli side, the protest there, because they know that this condemns the fate of the hostages, the still are still living, and probably not survive this kind of an assault on Gaza, more soldiers killed, and the Israeli society divided than ever. And probably part of what should change Netanyahu's mind is there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people take to the streets.
Yossi, how much of this plan is about Netanyahu's own political survival?
So, some would argue it might be part of his new negotiation tactics with Hamas, but I'm not so sure this is the case. But, from what we have seen in the last few years, everything for Netanyahu is about his political survival, and even beyond his political survival is about sabotaging his corruption trial. And for this, he is ready to compromise Israel democracy. He's ready to prolong the war, and he's ready to sacrifice the hostages. There might be the case that he's so detached from reality and delusional that he really believes that what they decided overnight can bring actually to the complete defeat of Hamas and releasing the hostages. But even the Israeli IDF, the chief of staff, doesn't believe in that. And if Netanyahu believes that that could then help him to call fresh election and win them, I think most people will probably dispute this.
I want to touch on the humanitarian situation in Gaza that you already mentioned. The situation is described as absolutely catastrophic, with people facing hunger, malnutrition every day. People are dying from starvation, shortages of food, and this operation could make things even worse. What is going to happen to Palestinians who are still in Gaza City? Where are they supposed to go? From what I understand and all the reporting we've done, there's not a single place in Gaza that's considered safe.
There is no safe place in Gaza. People has been displaced 4 and 5 and 6 times already. Israel also declared war on UNRWA, declared war on other international organizations, UN agencies that help with providing humanitarian aid. Its failed attempt to provide humanitarian aid through the GHF ended in up to 1,000 people killed while they are queuing for food, and not enough humanitarian aid is entering. And dropping aid by air is a drop in the ocean. Any more intensive military campaign would just exacerbate an already disastrous situation.
Even Germany has come out against this plan, suspending export of arms to Israel that could be used in Gaza. Yossi, how significant is this considering Germany is Israel's second biggest supplier of weapons and arms?
Absolutely. I think this is a watershed for more than one reason. One, as you mentioned, after the United States, this is the second biggest supplier of weapons to Israel, with more than 20%. But also because it's Germany. And considering the history of relations between Israel and Germany, Germany always been very reluctant, not very reluctant to criticize Israel, even when it disagreed strongly with the way Israel conducts its affairs. This is a watershed moment, because if Germany makes such a decision, I think it will lead other countries to follow suit.
And finally, where does all this leave any sort of discussions or potential ceasefire talks, which were already stalled?
Part of it depends, how Hamas is going to react to that, but also other international community. I think this emphasizes more than ever the need for making quick progress on a ceasefire, releasing the hostages, and entering more humanitarian aid into Gaza and ending the war. But again, the United States is crucial, and other countries that have the leverage over both sides need to exercise it to the maximum. Otherwise, I'm afraid that the next 2 months are going to be, we'll see bloodshed on a very, very, very worrying level.
All right, Yossi Mekelberg, thank you for talking to us.